We're very proud of the win because I think we beat a good team. And the one thing that really stands out when you watch Nebraska, they're very unselfish. And I really like their team because they get their guys better. There's no doubt about that. And they've got a couple of really good players, obviously, in Shields and White, but they move the ball. And they create a lot of problems for opponents now because they move without the ball. Okay, White's one of the best cutting guys. You know, he's like Troy Williams for us. And then you add the fact that he's a tremendous three-point shooter. So they're going to get better and better. So we knew we were going to have to play an extremely solid game in a challenging environment, and it was. And I was proud of the way our guys weathered the storms in the first half. And there were some storms, and they had a couple of runs. We answered that. I thought the three at the end of the half from Yogi was like being down in the game, kicking a field goal, in football, and adding a couple points so you feel good about yourself when you go in and at halftime. And that was big. And Yogi did a great job directing our team, but we got contributions from a lot of people. And it was great to have Thomas Bryant come back after having a tough day against Rutgers with the fouls and play to the level that he did. I mean, he did a great job offensively, but I think he was in for 27 possessions in the second half. They scored 7 times in those. So to me, I mean, it just that's really important. And we're getting real contributions from freshmen, which is important, especially it's important anyways, but it's really important when you take out a guy that's as good as James is, with the 16-point-a-game average and the fact that he creates so many opportunities for other people. So really good, strong play, good defensive play. Yogi did Andrew White had to earn his points. Siobhan had to earn his points. And our guys answered the bell from start to finish, played much better in the second half. But I thought the second half was able to happen for us because we'd weathered those storms in the first half. And a month ago, we might not have come back from weathering those storms. And in this league, you got to be able to do that because everybody's got a plan, and then it becomes a game of adjustments the rest of the way. So we beat a good team. He's an excellent coach. I have a great respect for him, that entire staff, and for this program. And I think this win is going to be great for us down the road.
First question. Yogi kind of face guarding Andrew for a lot of the game. What was the thinking behind that strategy?
Matchups. We don't have a great matchup for a guy like that. We don't have a great matchup for Siobhan Shields, though I thought Colin Hartman did an excellent job, too. You can't guard those guys with one person. And but when you do have one person on them, they've got to do a really good job. And the couple times that Andrew made his shots, our hands weren't up. We were late on a screen one time. And he can rise up. He's really good. I mean, really good. And you can see that on the film, and now you see it in real life. But Yogi's done that before for us. I mean, Yogi may not be large in size, right? But his heart and his mindset and his toughness, that's really big. And that's what it has to be. I mean, we'll have to do it again because he rises to the occasion. And he has not played. Last year they did a good job with their trapping of him. And we were very conscious of that in this game, and he was very conscious of that. And I thought he moved the ball extremely well, and that freed him up to make shots. So his good defense got his offense going. There's no doubt about that.
About, the sky wasn't falling, it wasn't time to panic. What was kind of the message? What did the film show? What did you kind of take from that?
Well, I don't want to say what I thought were fouls, what weren't. I don't want to be disrespectful that way to the officiating, but we weren't that concerned. When you watch the film, and we just had to make sure that he knew what he could correct. Make sure he knew, this is probably not a travel. Let's just respond. And what we did is we put him right back in the gym at 11 o'clock on Thursday morning with some of the other freshmen and our perimeter players, and got working on our ball handling, our driving, our situation type of stuff, and then practiced later that night a little bit, not very much. But the last thing you want to talk about is the negatives a lot of times. You want to get right into what's going to correct it. It's one thing to talk about the turnovers. It's another thing to start correcting them and then seeing them on film. And it's the same thing when a guy has foul issues. So people forget Cody Zeller, his first Big Ten game of the year, we were at Michigan State, and it was really, really hard. I mean, he stayed in the game, but it was a very physical game. They basically beat him up. And he comes back, and he fouls out the next game, but we beat Ohio State and when they're ranked, and in his second Big Ten game. So I think it proves true that a lot of times there's a lot of improvement from game 1 to game 2. I mean, OG did that. I mean, he had a really good game against Rutgers and came in today and was even better than that. So that's what you want. You want guys to understand that they can get better. They've got to impact the game even when it's not going right for them. And I thought Thomas's points were a real tribute to how well he guarded today, especially with the adjustments he made in the ball screen.
You talked about this a little bit, but how much of the, I guess, first half to second half improvement was adjustments, and how much of it was just being able to look at them and say, look, you've taken some punches from them and you're still standing?
We made a couple of adjustments defensively, but not much. Not much. It was our mistakes were being late, and they had buckets in transition. That was the biggest thing. We took away I'm not sure what it was in the second half, JD. What was it? So the fast break points, the turnovers. That was many in the second half, right? They had too many points off in transition. That was what so much of it was, and some it was our turnovers, right? So less turnovers was part of it, but there was a couple different things that we wanted to do offensively, and really what we wanted to do was stay true to what the plan was. Because they play good defense and they play a pack line defense, and they're gonna force you to live on jump shots if you don't move the defense. So you've got to really. We have no problem with the jump shot, but we want to make sure we're moving the defense. And I thought we were doing a good job of that in the first half and a much better job of it in the second half. But we were better with the ball. Our awareness was better. Our rebounding was better, and our defense was considerably better.
We forced 9 turnovers in the second half, and they had 0 fast break points.
Yeah, that's got as much to do with the game as anything else. They got too many runouts in the first half.
Tom, did you want to use Bryant that much the rest of the way, or did you look at the Nebraska Northwestern film and see pretty obvious to try to go inside?
No, I mean, that was I don't understand. Do you mean did I not want to play him as much?
No, just enter the ball to him offensively.
Absolutely. But we want to do that. You know, if we go play the Mavericks or the Warriors tonight, we want to throw him the ball. So no. We Northwestern did a good job because they got some movement in their offense, and we watched that tape obviously. But I thought Max did a good job. Max came back with 13 deflections today. You know, that's huge. He didn't have the 18 and 14 that he had the other day, but he had the 13 deflections. You know, to me, which is huge. So to me, that's the kind of stuff that we want to have, that we want to get better at. And OG, Jawan, those guys did a good job. You know, we're already a little undermanned inside going into the year. And that's why, like, here's a day, Colin Hartman makes the first basket for us, I believe, in the game. Doesn't score the rest of the game, but we don't win the game without him at all, because he had some foul issues. He played through them, but he did a great job of defending. I misspoke on Bielfeldt. I'm looking at the wrong number. He didn't have 13 deflections, so don't print that because he'll think he's really good. All right, we got to get more out of him. But contributions from everybody was the key against a good team.
Is there any other update on James?
No, we're truly still in an evaluation stage right now. It's still being evaluated.
Nature of his tear, sprain.
It's being evaluated, and that's where we're going to be.
How much, if anything, is he able to do just physically with, I think I saw him shooting free throws, but I don't know beyond that, is there much he can do?
We're just keeping him in a situation where we allow the doctors to do what they need to do, see where it completely stands. I'm not being evasive when I say that he's still being evaluated. I mean, he truly is, and we'll go through that over the next couple of days. But his attitude is great, spirit is great. He's not practicing, but we want to definitely see what we're dealing with here, and he's been fantastic with it.